Lately, I've been in a bit of a book slump, and I think it's because it's genuinely been hard for me to find books that I'm in love with, or that keep my attention. I haven't felt immersed in a book for a while, so I've decided it is finally time for me to find my go-to genres. Books I know that are more likely to give me that 5-star feeling or have me feeling all of the emotions and anticipation. So I'm taking it one genre at a time. And first up is thrillers. Hey and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Shelby, and this channel is a place to slow down, talk books, and figure out how to live a little more intentionally. So if that all sounds good to you, I'd be happy to have you stick around. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's talk about the rules of this series. So the way this series is going to work, I will be taking one genre at a time, really diving into it before I move on to the next one. For each genre, I'll be picking 2 to 3 books to really give it a shot, enough to know if it's actually for me. And here's the rule that I'm giving myself. If a book isn't grabbing me, I'm allowed to DNF it. I'm not going to force myself to finish anything just for the sake of saying I did for the video, because that wouldn't be an honest read for the genre. What I'm actually really looking for is that 5-star feeling. You know the one that I'm talking about. If you've ever experienced a 5-star book before, you know that feeling. It's the one where I'm feeling all of the emotions, the anticipation, and fully immersed. That is the whole point of this. At the end, I will give my honest verdict. Is this a go-to genre for me or not? And then we'll move on to the next genre in the next video. I'm so excited and I'm slightly nervous. I have one book in mind already. It's a Riley Sager book. I have been a fan of Riley Sager for a while, and this was the last book that I read by him, and it was good, but it wasn't great. I felt like it was definitely giving Agatha Christie Murder on the Orient Express vibes, but just wasn't as good. And I know that he's got better work than this. So I'm going to go through his backlog, and I am going to be reading one of the books that he came out with quite a few years ago, I feel like, at this point. It's called Home Before Dark. I'm very excited about this one. I'm having high hopes. Please, Riley Sager, don't let me down, because I need this. I really, really do. I don't have other books planned as of thus far, but I think later on tonight or tomorrow, I'll take a look and see if I can find a couple others. I was thinking about doing an Agatha Christie book, but I kind of want to branch out a little bit and explore maybe some authors I've not read before, just to see kind of what's out there. So I think that's what we're going to do instead. But first tonight, we are going to be reading Home Before Dark. It is much later than when we first started talking. It's now 10:22, but I've decided this is going to be the perfect time to start reading Home Before Dark. I don't know. I think because dark is in the name, it just makes sense to read it at night. So here's to hoping that this one is actually going to be good. Because like I said, the last Riley Sager book that I read, which was With a Vengeance, I believe is what it's called. It was okay, but like definitely not his best work. And overall, I was left feeling a little bit flat. Like when like the big reveal happens, I was just kind of like, all right, kind of saw it coming. So here's to hoping that this one will be good. I'm really happy right now because the room just has like this warm glow to it. It's like the perfect ambiance. I kind of like rearranged the room a couple of days ago to really make sure that there was like a really nice seating area and that the room felt a little bit more cohesive and less kind of junky and all over the place, because it was starting to make me feel like I was going crazy. So there's like a nice little seating area, and so there's a lot of lights happening in the room right now, but the biggest light that is like projecting this beautiful color is this neon sign that my brother got me when we first moved into our own place. It says good vibes only, and I put it like right above like the little reading area. So that is making me feel extra warm and fuzzy and relaxed and ready to read before it's time to go to bed. So that is what we're gonna do. His dedication says, for those who tell ghost stories and those who believe them. So now I'm just kind of like, is this like a scary story? A haunted house? I think that's what I briefly read part of the synopsis, and I feel like that's what they talked about, but we will see. So I only just read like the first couple of pages of this, but I already like the writing of this book. This one already like pulls me in and makes me want to know a little bit more of what's going to happen in this book. I think, okay, let me just read this. Every house has a story to tell and a secret to share. Dining room wallpaper might hide pencil marks charting the growth of children who lived there decades before. Underneath the sun-faded linoleum could be wood once trod by soldiers from the Revolutionary War. I think like just reading that in itself paints a picture, and it's so true. Like when it comes to homes, we are not the first people to live in these homes most of the time, unless you've got a brand new built home or you built the home yourself. But even then, the land that home is built on probably had something there before, or people roamed there before. I just think when you think about the history of like the place that you call home, like it does tell a story, and I think that that's so interesting, and I'm curious to know what this home is going to tell. I think that's going to be the ultimate thing, right? Like, what is the story that the home in this story is going to tell? We have been introduced to someone named Maggie Holt, and she is a designer, or I guess she calls herself like a historian, and she likes to kind of restore homes back to their like, I don't know, glory days, heydays, whatever you want to call it. So, or just bring beauty back to the natural essence of the home, and I think that that is interesting. So yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm going to keep reading. I have kindly asked Anthony, and for those who don't know, Anthony is my husband, but I kindly asked him to make me some tea. So he's doing that for me right now because I just want to log in. I just right now have so much hope that this book will give me what I need, because I need it. I desperately need it. I finished a book today. Even though I did enjoy this book and I felt like I got through it pretty quickly, it wasn't my favorite. So I'm desperately in the need of something that's gonna really like pull me in and leave me wanting more. Good morning. It's the next day and I've had a really good morning so far. I'm trying this new thing where I'm like waking up and not immediately trying to be productive, but just have like a slower start to the morning. So I actually sat out on the balcony and I did a word search. Then I made breakfast. I am going to, I think, first go over to Barnes and hang out there for a little bit, read. And then I was thinking, since I'll be over at Barnes, I'm not going to buy anything just yet, but I think I'm going to peruse the thriller section to kind of get an idea of maybe another thriller that I can read, because I do think I have one in mind, but I want to read at least 2 to 3. So I have The Midnight Something, I think it's called. I have that book, so probably should read that one. I don't think I've read a book by that author before. I'll put it up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I'm thinking that I might read that one, and then I want to at least see if I can find one more. So that's why I think it might be a good idea to go to Barnes and just kind of peruse for a little bit. It is so unbelievably cute outside right now. I also think that I might have found some really good book options, and I'm really excited about it. And I was really trying to keep an open mind of looking for books that I wouldn't normally pick up. And I feel good about it. I hope that they're going to be good. I am back in the house now. I had a really good time, as I mentioned, going out and like kind of looking around for some books. I think I found some good ones. So one of the first books I saw that I feel like has been kind of calling me for a little while, it's The Thursday Night Murder Club. That one just sounds fun and entertaining. I mean, I think it's still going to give the anticipation feels, but it's about like this older group of people that kind of create this club to solve this, I guess, murder that's happened. And it's a series, so I think that there's a couple of other books that go along with that. I don't know, it looks good, and it's been something that's kind of popped up quite a few times for me. I think that one might be a good one for me to pick up. The other book I'm thinking about, no, I'm not even thinking. I'm pretty sure this might be the next book that I pick up. It's going to be In the Woods, and this is by Tana French, I believe. Never heard of this person before, but the cover is the thing that immediately kind of drew me in. And I was reading a bit of the synopsis, and it just sounds like a good time. I think this kind of takes place during the summer in Ireland, and these group of kids, I guess, kind of disappear, and I think only one of them is found. So I don't know, it just sounded really good and something that I think could have the potential of being 5 stars. So I kind of just want to hurry up and get to that book, but I'm trying to learn to slow down and enjoy where I'm at. So we're not going to rush through Home Before Dark, although I did make some good headway on that. I'll talk about that in a second. The book that I have, though, that I thought might be a good one for me to finally get to is this Lisa Foley book, and this is Midnight Feast. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I really want to pick books that I feel like are going to call to me, and this one, when I saw it, was something that I was interested in, but right now I'm not feeling called to read this one. I'm more so feeling like I need to pick this one up just because it's been sitting on my shelf. It doesn't make sense investing money into books that I don't already own. I will probably look to see if The other two books that I'm interested in are available on the Libby app or Hoopla, which is another library app that I use. I also do have like 2 credits available on Audible. Home Before Dark. Definitely made some good headway into this book when I was at Barnes. I feel compelled to like continue to pick up the book, which is something that I'm looking for. So far, so good. I do love the mystery behind everything that's going on. Our main character, Maggie, she has a completely different perspective on how things went in that house, and she seems to think that her dad made up the entire story. Long story made short, she has inherited this house, and now she is going there herself to try to fix it up and I guess resell it. But we're already experiencing some interesting things. So I'm excited just to see where this is going to go. But I'm also really excited to pick up In the Woods. So I do need to see if it is available on Libby potentially. And we'll go from there. Okay, I have to admit, it's been a while since I last updated you guys. I think in the last clip that I had, I was reading Home Before Dark, which I have finished. I actually finished that one relatively quickly. I think I finished that within like 2 days. And then I started reading Thursday Night Murder Club and quickly realized that that is not a thriller. It is more of like a mystery. I would kind of almost classify it as like a cozy mystery kind of vibe. So I put that one down. We will come back to that book because I feel like if we're exploring genres, we might as well explore as many genres as we can. And mysteries / cozy mysteries, I think would be a good genre to invest a little bit of time and attention to. But I realized very quickly that I just needed to finish it or I was not going to get anywhere. I just felt like this was weighing on me so heavy. I don't like to have books sitting and waiting for me, especially like when I've made such a big dent in it. And so I was just really feeling called to finish it. And I have to say, I'm so thankful I finally finished this guy today. I think this was probably the longest reading experience of my life. I think it took me, is it a month to the day? Because that would be crazy. Can't be a month to the day. When did I start reading this? I don't know. I can't remember. I want to say though we are very close to a month of reading this, which is not like me. Like the longest or one of the longest reading experiences I've had. I kind of had the same experience with 11/22/63, just because I started reading that right in the midst of us getting ready to move, which was a very silly idea, but I enjoyed that book. This one, if you want to know my thoughts, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be happy to sit down and give you my full thoughts on this book. Anyways, that is not what we're actually here for. We need to get back into the thrillers. So the next book that I will be reading in this series is, I saw this one in Barnes and I had to pick it up. I don't know what it is about the cover. The cover is what really drew me in first. It's so ominous and doesn't really say a whole lot, yet somehow it does. There's a tone that comes flying off of this cover that just made me want to know what was going on. But this is In the Woods by Tana French. So this is where we're going to start, and we're going to hope and pray for the best that we enjoy this book, but we will see what happens. So I think I'm going to go ahead and sit at my little reading corner and read a few pages of this book while I wait for Anthony to come home. right, hopefully you guys can see me okay. The lighting is weird because of where I'm sat at. Let me actually close this just so I don't have a ton of noise that's distracting me. I feel like I'm having such bad luck. I am currently reading In the Woods by Tana French, and this is not a bad book by any means, but this is not giving me thriller vibes. This is definitely feeling more like a mystery with a hint of thriller. Like there's definitely been some moments where I'm like, oh, how is this going to connect and like what's going to happen? But it feels more mystery, and gosh, diggity darn, that's not what we're here for. And I made a very simple rule for myself where if I wasn't feeling it, then I would DNF the book. And it's not that I'm not feeling it. I feel like I could definitely see myself wanting to read this book, not for the sake of just reading it. Again, I want to find some really good thrillers that I just feel like make me want to read, make me fall in love with reading again, and this is not doing it for me. So I'm gonna soft DNF this book for now. Oh, I feel so guilty for saying that. Because I was also so excited for this book, but it's just not doing it for me right now, so I'm gonna have to put it down. I really need to find a good thriller. Let me take a look. I will come back and let you know what my options are. We'll try to guess which one I'm gonna pick. I found two. The first book that I have, and thankfully both of these are on Kindle Unlimited, because at this point I do not want to spend my money on another book if I'm not going to read it right now. The first one is called The Last House on Needless Street. This basically follows a young woman whose sister goes missing, and there's something odd about the neighbor next door, and she's pretty convinced that he has something to do with it. She ends up deciding she wants to figure out what's going on and takes this on and tries to kind of figure things out and solve the mystery of what happened to her sister. And so she becomes, I think, increasingly more interested in this neighbor, and the neighbor has a personality disorder. So he's already struggling with trying to sort out what's real from reality based off of the abuse that he went through as a child. And I think it takes the sister down a pretty dark path. So then the second book is Hidden Pictures. And now this one, I actually watched a vlog this past week, and a girl in that video was actually reading this, and I saw I think this is the same one, but I saw some pictures and I was like, this looks crazy creepy. I think this one is more of like a horror suspense / thriller kind of book, but it sounds like it's still within the realm of thriller, and I feel like one of these has to be like worth reading, right? So I think we're gonna read a chapter of both and just see where it goes, and whatever I'm feeling more is that's the direction we're going down, and we're committed to it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I did actually manage to find the audiobook on Hoopla, so I'm so excited because this is a totally free reading experience right now. So I think I am going to listen to that as I sit out here and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful weather. Yeah, this book is, I can tell you already, I am way more interested in this book and the character. We are following, what's her name, Mallory Quinn, and she's a 20-year-old who has become sober from drug addiction, and she is about to go in for an interview with this family to basically be the nanny for their child. And one thing I have to say about the writing in this book is it's something that's very picturesque. Like, for me, I think you can always use your imagination while you're reading to, you know, visualize what it looks like what it would look like in real life or as a movie or a TV show, right? But there is something when you're reading and the reading style and writing is done right, where you just do it without even thinking. You're not even having to try to figure out what this would kind of look like. Your imagination is just already connecting the dots, and because you've seen things that are similar, like, you can just visually picture it. And that's kind of how I was feeling reading it just from the first chapter alone. So that leads me to say that we are definitely going to continue on reading Hidden Pictures. I think this one might be the winner. Okay, it has been a couple of days since the last time you would have seen me reading Hidden Pictures. I did, in fact, finish the book, which I'm very excited about. I was really hoping that I was able to finish at least one more book before I gave you guys my final verdict. So before I do that and give you my final thoughts on Hidden Pictures, I just have to address this entire journey of thrillers was a complete roller coaster. Well, I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was, but it was a lot. Needless to say, I started a total of 6 books through this entire video. You didn't see clips of most of these because I realized either A, I didn't enjoy them, or they weren't feeling like the right genre. So just to explain, I read Home Before Dark. I started The Thursday Night Murder Club, Lucy Foley's Midnight Feast, In the Woods, The Last House on Needless Street, and then I ended things off with Hidden Pictures. So that's 6 books, and I only finished a total of 2, which just feels kind of ridiculous. But that's really and truly the entire point of this whole series that I'm doing, is I want to find those books that give me that 5-star feeling, something that I can't put down, that I just feel so completely immersed in, that it makes me want to continue reading. And that's really important to me, because otherwise this whole series will be a complete waste. So I tried to honor everything that I said. I DNF'd or soft DNF'd books that I wasn't feeling. And so we have completed 2 books. In Home Before Dark, I already mentioned how I felt about that book in entirety. I don't know if I gave it a star rating, but if not, I gave that a 3 stars. But Hidden Pictures, I had a really good time with. This was probably the best thriller that I had read throughout this entire experience, or best book that I had read throughout this entire experience thus far, because it gave me exactly what I was looking for and expecting when it came to a thriller. This one was very fast-paced, kept me really engaged, wanting more, and continuing to want to pick up the book, which is a big factor in what I was looking for. However, it wasn't a 5-star. I ended up giving it a 4-star. Not a bad rating whatsoever. I would highly recommend reading this book, especially if you're someone that likes kind of like that spooky kind of fast-paced read. This will definitely give you that. I ended up giving this one a 4 stars because, to be honest, the plot twist, I guessed pretty early on. I think there was a scene within maybe the first 7-8 chapters that happened, and I was like, I feel like I need to be suspicious of you. And so the overall plot twist I called, except for one factor I didn't really see coming. But when it was revealed, I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. So anyways, that is where I left off with Hidden Pictures, and I would definitely recommend it. But as I mentioned, this book didn't quite give me that 5-star feeling. Neither did Home Before Dark. And that's kind of the point of the entire series. The books that give me that 5-star obsessed, can't stop thinking about it feeling. This genre didn't quite get there. So I think it's safe to say that thrillers are not a go-to genre for me. I think they're great for that just one more chapter, fast-paced kind of vibe, but I wouldn't say this is going to be a genre that I am going to be reaching for every time. So let me know in the comments what genre you think I should try next, and are you a thriller person? Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I truly appreciate every single one of you, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. For each genre, I'll be picking. For each genre, I'll be picking 2 to 3 books